Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Metal Gear Speedrunners Winter Warning Shot 2022. Starting off the new year with a bang of titles. Games from the community that got accepted into Awesome Games Done Quick 2022. Starting with BlueMetal's NieR Automata A Ending, followed by Pipusaru 2001 Expert Any Percent by Sergeant Silent. Apache's Metal Gear Solid 2 Tanker Blindfolder run was taken off the schedule as Apache was not feeling well, but that did get in. I just wanted to give that nice complimentary shout out to Apache. And closing off the schedule today is going to be Metal Gear Solid Integral All Bosses Extreme by none other than D-Limes 13. I am Joseph Joestar316. I'll be hosting the first two runs today, and Nick will be coming by for the final run later. So up first will be BlueMetal with NieR Automata, and take it away, everybody.
Everybody, so this is Blue here. I'll be running NieR Automata A Ending, and y'all from the MGS community might know me for running Twin Snakes, but this is the game I got into GDQ, so this will be the game I'm running here today. And it's not only going to be a run, but it's going to be a race with one of my commentators today. It's going to be with Ame. It's going to be fun. How you guys doing today?
Yo, I'm pretty good. I've literally only just woke up, so I am prepped.
Nice.
I'm also here. Hello. I'm Rod. I'm luckily not racing Blue, because he would destroy me.
Alright, so I'm going to start a new file. I'll write this one. Let's see. We'll call it MGSR. What's the event called? Like Winter Warning Shot? Winter Warning Shot. There you go. WWS. Alright. Let me make sure my controls are good. Normal mode. Controls. Yep, everything is good. So I'm going to start the run in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Woo.
So, this game, you may have heard some stuff about it. It's like some really cool hack and slash JRPG.
We are perpetually
But
trapped
the opening of the
in a
game, not so
never-ending
much. It's
spiral of life and death.
the shmup. If you know what those
Is
are,
this
it's
a
always
curse
these games
or
where
some kind of
you're a plane,
punishment?
you shoot the other planes, and there's bullets all over the place.
I often
Something
think
like
about
that.
the God who blessed us with this cryptic
But
puzzle,
this one's
and
much more
wonder if we'll
simple. It's
ever
just
have the chance to kill
taking
him.
down simple waves of enemies. Goes on for about almost 4.5 minutes before we actually get to on-foot combat, where we play as the android waifu with swords. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. We have this whole beautiful monologue and shmup to go through first.
This is Operator 60. All units confirmed. We've
So,
passed
pretty
the
much
50-kilometer
Killing
threshold and
God
are
like in every
proceeding toward
other
the target.
JRPG
Yeah.
that exists.
Once
It's a
you reach their
JRPG, you
anti-air
know.
defenses,
Well, maybe we'll get a
proceed
chance to
manual
kill him.
attack
That'd be pretty
formation.
cool.
Then destroy the Goliath
Yeah.
class unit by any
Pretty
means
much
necessary.
the entire
That's
speed
what
tech
takes
for here is
Understood.
memorizing where all the enemies are going to spawn, and Blue has that memorized. So you will see less enemies than you would normally casually, because he's going to kill a lot of them off the screen. Hopefully.
Assuming my allies placement doesn't, go wrong for like no reason, but should be.
Oh yeah, the classic. So there's a bit of RNG in this, in that your allies can kind of move in ways that aren't great. They're pretty easy to manipulate, so it doesn't happen super often, but we are going to want to move our allies around so that they can more accurately shoot the enemies that are about to spawn. The coolest one, I think, is this one, the very first, where you push the enemy off to the left.
Just
The
barely
enemy
tap
down.
them and it's enough.
Yeah, and then all 4 die right away. It's very cool. So we're also going to get hit by these lasers. It's not Blue being unable to avoid them. It's intentional. We want to get rid of our large and medium recoveries because we just don't need them. And they get in the way of menuing to the buffs that we do need. So they're Blue pushing an ally to the left, and then let him kill those guys coming in. Clean.
Multiple surrounding enemy air units confirmed.
That is a lot harder than it looks. It's worth
Yeah.
pointing out.
Yeah, that is.
It's pretty obnoxious. Same with this part too. You're just trying to kill enemies off screen while your teammate hopefully kills enemies off screen. That was faster than I expected, actually. You guys want to know something funny? I'm not running a timer offline, off stream. So
Nice.
if this happens to be a good run, I won't know what time I get.
Captain,
Hallelujah.
thank
Less
you.
stress. It's just a YOLO run.
Yeah,
4B.
I kind of like it that way.
Yeah. We'll know the RTA.
Yeah, it's true.
302 call RTA. So what's that? It's like a
All allied units down.
259
flat?
call.
Operation is
Yeah.
compromised. Awaiting further orders. Operator,
So as we were mentioning there, this game is timed
Unit 9S,
loadless
gathering data
using
on
an
the
auto
local
splitter and
Understood.
load remover and live split. Because the loads are kind of variable between people.
How you make it most fair.
Yeah.
All right, all my mediums are gone. Now I don't have to worry about getting hit intentionally anymore. Nice
Yeah,
little text
doing
glitch down there, by the way.
Oh, beautiful. Lovely. The game already showing us that it's built very well. So here's another perspective change. We're now on the side. Just more memorization. Nice, doing this wave fast. I can never do this wave the correct way, which is this. Alright.
Alright,
Last
not bad.
enemy.
It's a very clean ring wave.
Yeah. Now we're
We're
on
finally
the
on
ground.
foot.
So, ground combat.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Oh boy.
So, because this is an A-ending
What?
run,
Got him.
there's pretty much only one attack that Blue's ever going to really care to do, and it's going to be a damage glitch, as we call it.
Yeah, he's just gonna dash and throw the sword, and it's gonna do much more damage than any ever attack in the game.
Yeah, it's going to do more damage than it has any right to be doing. It's at least
Damage
double.
is like, isn't it like 5 times for like no reason?
It's
5x
something
damage?
ridiculous. I used to think it was double, but now it's like 5x.
Is that our
It's
target?
crazy.
Yeah, it shreds everything. Later, we're going to be able to have 2 of the swords spinning at the same time in the air, which will do double the damage glitch, hence double damage glitch, DDG. But right here, we're just going to kill Mark's one. We take a buff. It's kind of phase-based. We have to wait for some dialogue to finish. And then at the end of an attack, when he's back up, he'll like explode and stuff. You know, after his other attack, obviously.
I apologize to Amay in advance, but I'm not gonna do the thing.
No.
It's okay. We'll be there all day. There is another skip here called Crane Skip, but we're just gonna be doing the old-fashioned crane skip.
We're doing.
I'm just not
so
good at crane skip, man.
You say
I
the
want to sit there
old-fashioned
and try it a
one,
million times.
but Blue did like the most optimal way of doing that. So it's still kind of swaggy, because you know he's doing the mid-air heavies and whatnot just to do it faster. But there
Yeah.
is a faster out of bounds way to do it there.
Open.
There's about
That
1
looks
second difference between
Yeah.
them.
Nothing's
But the out of bounds one has a slightly picky way to clip. So
Whoa. You'll know it when you see it.
whoa,
Oh.
you're right. Wow, those last 2 flyers just sacrificed themselves for you. That's pretty cool. So normally you want to hit like at least 3 there, but those 2 just like kind of slowly hovered in. So this is the hardest trick in the game. This is bridge skip. Easy.
Wow.
Clap. Nice.
I
Basically
was
you
gonna
just
go
have to
through
jump
for a
really high.
second. Whoops. We're good though.
Yes. Yeah, one of the things Blue's going to try to avoid, which he did there, was plunging into the ground. There's a stand-up animation, so you normally want to either dash out of it or SD. Oh, nice, another example.
Yeah. Thanks, Blue.
Thanks. Oh, he
You're
got the
welcome.
God Laser, nice.
I know.
Why'd that guy not die? Anyway, that's fine.
So
That's
that first laser he did, he wanted to kill all the enemies. It doesn't happen all the time. It's kind of based on what type of animation they're in. If you time it right, you can get it consistent. And then for these enemies, Blue's going to taunt them and then just kill them really quick. I guess I could explain taunting, but I'd rather explain that later.
Yeah, taunting is much more important later on, and here in the prologue it's only used like a couple times, so it's not that important. But
Blue,
Not
you didn't
even.
do Beaver Strat.
You didn't do the new Zoomer one. You didn't do the old
I don't
Boomer
even know how to
one.
do the zoomer one, dude. Not gonna lie.
The Zoomer one's really hard. So there's 2 different skips for getting over angles there, and Blue did neither of them and just ran around.
That's what I've been doing for years, man.
Yep.
If I can still get sub 14 prologues without that nonsense, I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
I can understand not doing the new one because it doesn't look as cool when you can soft lock,
I
but
wouldn't bet on that.
Ugh, even less reason for me to do it.
I mean it's pretty hard to actually soft lock. You have to fall.
Yeah. So this fight is just another one where if you do it right, it's pretty easy, consistent, fast. If you don't do it right, you're in for a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'll
there's
end up
a lot
having
of
to-
boss fights in this game that are like gated by HP thresholds or dialogue timings and stuff. So there's not very many bosses we actually fight to the death. Funny
Yeah.
enough.
Where we just like actually have to just DPS check on them. For example, this
Yeah.
boss, it was timed there. Blue could have killed it earlier where the health bar would have stopped going down. It wouldn't have mattered. He would have just wasted time on menuing to do more damage.
So if you
Yeah.
really enjoyed the intro sequence, we now have the on-foot version of the auto-scroller.
It's true.
There's one part of this that isn't an auto scroller, and it's what attack he does after the cutscene that we'll play here. So Engels has like 6 or 7 attacks he can choose from at any time. Whatever attack he's doing into this cutscene, he won't open with that attack. So if he does punches as his opener, that loses us about 20 seconds. If he does clap, which is this attack, he'll lose us like 2-ish seconds, and all the other ones are pretty much negligible. So what Blue's hoping for here is that we get punches so that he can slow-mo and take that into the cutscene so that it takes it out of the pool of possible attacks Engels can do. But Engels is just kind of doing
Fine.
ranged attacks.
He's being kind of rude right now.
Yeah. Another clap.
Oh boy, I'm kind of worried. Here he comes. Okay, no, we're fine. I got lucky.
Got lucky? Okay.
Oh my god.
This is tough. I'm going to destroy.
Dang, I
Alright,
didn't
we
even think
successfully
about
did
it.
not lose 20 seconds.
Hallelujah. I didn't think about how there's a lot of Metal Gears in this game.
Alright, so big question. I already know the answer to. Right, left, or no pipe?
The correct one.
I'm a no pipe boy.
No pipes. No
I like
pipe
to
life.
stand on nothing. Sometimes I like to just get impaled by this girder sticking out. You know, there's things you can do down here other than just stand on a pipe and then do aerial movement.
Exactly.
I
There's
just
This
want to get
might-
impaled by
no
this
piper
girder.
here.
This might be the first time in commentary where everyone's in agreement.
Yeah, really.
Usually there's a debate about like what pipe you go stand on during this section.
No pipe. Hallelujah. Is Myth or Shabu a piper?
Both of them are, I
Uh,
believe.
Heck.
I just
forget
barely
which
got the
one.
threshold.
So we do have to do damage here, but you can easily hit the threshold by just pod firing during this scroller.
You can technically get away with not fully hitting the threshold.
Yeah. Just
The
makes
cutscene can play out without it. Now we get to introduce double lifts. So if you do a lift up a slope, you can do it again.
Wow.
Wow,
That'll do with shingles. Ka-chow. Nice. So you have to time your like camera movement with your angle with a heavy hold there to like go through a wall.
That had no right
Yeah.
to work, by the way.
What? You just kind of like flexed on them and then they died. Wow.
That should not have worked, but it did.
You shouldn't. You just missed with a dash swing. Apparently, Blue has turned on a hack that makes his pod laser larger. So speaking of cheating at this game, we're using BC3 mod. That'll come in handy later. but there's a
Yeah.
reason for that.
The mod gives us some materials and stuff that we would want that is normally really, really rare RNG drops. So it's kind of like a mod that just reduces the amount of RNG in the runs so that we can get some more consistent runs out of this game. But of course, it's a separate category too. So
Yeah, but it's the fun mod. And it's not like impossible RNG. It's not something that you would never hope to get. It's something that you could get if you really wanted to grind it out, but that's just not that fun. You can still get crazy times without it, though.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out that a lot of the unmodded PBs on the boards have very similar setups to what you get with the mod.
Yeah. So it's just
what
consistent.
happened here with this fight? You want to match up the end of the last dialogue with the boss not being in the middle of an attack, because the fight won't progress unless he's idle and with the dialogues being over. So I was trying to sync it up so that he wouldn't do another attack before the dialogue was over. Boom.
And you're gonna buff. And
Oh, he
hit
hit
him
me
with
with a
an
missile.
arm.
Oh,
Really?
Clean.
Wow, he did. I don't think I've seen that.
That was a pretty speedy prologue as well.
That was under 14 RTA. Nice.
I'll take it.
Nothing.
So now we're gonna meet our least favorite character in the game, 9S. We're gonna talk and do some random stuff, for lack of a better word.
We actually have the menu boss here.
Yeah, no one likes the menu boss. You gotta do a forced set of settings and checks because my immersion with my Android characters, I guess.
Yep, all of this is scripted, and you have to just smash through text. Turn
It's
9S
not
and then-
even easy text to do either. If you do
Yeah.
one extra button press, you're punished for it.
Yep.
Morning.
And coming up here after this little talking section, we're gonna have our first dialogue cancel. In this game, if you talk to any character in the game and then go into another trigger for a dialogue, it will cancel the second dialogue.
Nice.
Huh?
And since we hate 9S, we don't want to talk to him. We're gonna
talk to him.
talk to him to not talk to him.
Reverse psychology.
It's like, hey, 9S, shut up, 9S.
What is it? Nope. Let me just stop talking. We also unlocked probably the strongest tool in the game just now, which is self-destruct. You saw Blue used it there to stop on a dime. It lets you essentially just stop your animation that you're in and do something else. Is what we use it for.
Yeah, we use it for everything else except blowing ourselves up with it, but we do
Yeah.
blow ourselves up with it a few times anyway.
There's one time that we're going to use it to do damage, which is the intended thing, apart from taking your skirt off.
Yeah, it kind of lets you do some aerial movement exploits. It lets you stop on a dime, so you know you don't have to fiddle with your position all that much. It retains momentum when you're doing some aerial movements. Self-destruct is a really powerful tool because you can just tap it for like a frame and then it's just fantastic.
Yeah,
It's really hard to
cool.
get into it to really explain a lot without getting into the nitty-gritty, but SD is very good, very broken.
This is just another shmup. Blue has all the ways memorized. Again.
Oh, I got him. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
strat-
getting
I
all
found
those
that strat.
enemies is good. Oh, you found that one? Wow.
Yeah.
Replace one of the favorite strats in the community, the strat.
Yeah, the
named
strat
by
where you,
Marbles.
where you do this, you're over here and you just kind of spam it and you just make noises with your mouth and hopefully you kill all of them. I'm just like, no, I hate this random strat, dude. I want to make something that's consistent.
Today I learned.
I value consistency with speedruns, okay? I ain't thinking about that random crap.
Well, luckily we're playing the no random crap mod. Oh, there's a cutscene skip here that Blue's going to do. There's a lineup for it. I don't know which one Blue's using, but you wouldn't know it, but there's a cutscene here. That's skippable.
It's very, very short.
It's right there. Yep, that was it. He skipped standing up. That was
Damn.
And yes, 2B was almost already standing up, but we skipped it.
We saved
Uh,
about 10 frames.
Speaking of skipping really short things, there's a lot of discovery cutscenes in this game, which play when you first find a new area. Blue's gonna try doing attacks into those to avoid a slow walk that saves about 5 seconds every time.
According to our intel, none of the machines in this area are hostile. We've been seeing more and more enemies like this lately.
Oh, you got the zoomer strat.
Stare into space.
So if you touch the floor, it actually resets all of your movement abilities. And the game is very fussy, and sometimes it just decides, no, you're not gonna get it. But Blue did get it. He reset his movements by touching the little, not quite fence,
Ooh,
but
dialogue.
whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
Yep, dialogue cancel there.
So-
And
There was some zoomer stuff. Some.
Yeah, he's showing some of the zoomer stuff off. So that was something we realized you could do recently was if you dash swing past and talk to that one person when coming in, some dialogue doesn't play, and you can talk to an enemy right away.
Enemies
So
are
now
off
we'll-
screen. Nice.
Yeah.
This must have been quite
yep.
a city.
So now we're gonna do dash punching for
Too bad
movement. We've done it for a
vegetation's
little
clearing
bit.
most of it now.
It's just a little bit faster than chaining your dashes. We're gonna do some quests that are optional, but they're actually mandatory. The game just doesn't give you any other objective to do until you complete them.
How's the weather on Earth today?
So all these spawns are completely
Does that
fixed.
question have anything to do with our operation?
And then the second half is the other mandatory quest,
That should be
where
enough.
we're gonna go kill a
Let's get
couple of
to talk to
things.
the trader. Plant life has claimed most of the central area. Big plants too.
Report. Records show that
Three dudes I gotta
vegetation
kill over
has grown
here,
to an unknown
and
size since the departure of humans.
Oh, what are you doing? Get away
Wonder
from
if there
here.
are any huge boars
What
in
is
this
going
section.
on? Excuse me.
Oh boy, big bully right here. So
Uh,
the strat for
get
this,
away. Stop. Okay. Sorry.
there's only 3 you need to kill. So the strat for this, and also the 3 you
That's
need to
everything the
kill,
supply trader
will
asked
be the
for.
3 that aggro on you if you run up and start fighting. Like the first attack you do. So that's what Blue did. He ran up and started fighting, but then some others
The
got hit and
Resistance is a
aggroed, so they
valuable
were
ally to
bothering
your
him.
hub. By helping them, we also help ourselves.
That was
Somehow,
very
I don't think
abnormal.
they're
It's not supposed to look like that,
Yeah,
but you know, it's
yeah.
a marathon run, so of course something would happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like one of the
Demon.
easiest parts of the run, but it is so easy to lose time there.
Yeah. The entire like pre-Atom 1 part of the game is super optimized. Hey, that's VC2.
Also, I want to point out that's possibly the only menu in the game that actually responds to your inputs in real time. Pretty much everything else has a random delay to it.
Yeah, that menu can be done insanely fast. So we're done punching now. With VC2, we now move faster using the sword. So we dash, and then at the end of our dash, we hit a heavy, and we do this cool little spinny thing.
Yeah, when you upgrade your sword, attack speed goes up, damage goes up. So, I would have been doing this earlier. Oh, get away from me. I would have been doing this earlier if the attack speed for the level 1 sword wasn't so slow. So we call it VC2 because the sword is called Virtuous Contract VC, and it's at VC2 currently. And the VC3 mod is named after the 3rd level for that we want that needs RNG drops, but we'll talk more about that when we get there. But for now, sword's upgraded, so we move faster. So we're gonna use this for our movement for a while.
It's pretty cozy too, this movement, I think.
Yeah. So coming up here, I'm gonna go for it very quickly. There's a desert trader. We're gonna get a bunch of things that we need for the first half of the run. We're gonna get some recoveries, some buffs that you would have seen in prologue. We're gonna get a sachet, which stops the animals from being spooked by you. We're gonna get some animal bait.
We're gonna
You'll
buy
find out that
resilience.
later. And resilience, one of the strongest chips in the game.
That you would have never used casually. And then hi-ho, we're out of bounds.
Map data.
We got to bounce a lot in this game, by the way, if that wasn't pretty obvious.
Yeah, this is just the like one of the first longer ones. We're just out of bounds so we can run in a straighter line.
General idea is good enough.
We're gonna run over to nearby Jackass, but we're not gonna talk to her. We're going to instead just go out of bounds again, and then continue to go out of bounds, and get a couple mandatory triggers to progress the story. Ooh, right side of the barricade.
Ooh,
Spiky.
brave.
Who opens a sealed gate with explosives?
This
There's gotta be
ledge
an
that Blue's
easier
walking on
way,
out of bounds
right?
is about as small as it looks here. Sometimes there's floor that he's walking on that you can't see, but that's one of the picky floors.
Jank improvised movement. Disregard, please.
Nice backup to falling. Falling here is really annoying. You can get
This
stuck.
sand sure
Ooh,
is
that
slippery.
slide, you normally get stopped trying to do that unless you're on the left rock. So that's a zoomer strat as well. So in the desert, we're going to just sand slide point to point. We want this pod so that we have 2 pod programs, which will make sense later.
Laser that I've been using throughout the run up to this point, it's called a pod program. I'm just using the laser
We've got
program.
enemies approaching.
And now that I have 2 pods, I have 2 lasers accessible. And then the when I was doing the shmup sections, the missiles that spray out all over the place, that's also pod programmed. So now I have access to 2 of those instead of 1. So that's pretty neat.
And then up here, we're gonna slide down the slope, and we're gonna just snipe out some of these flyers. Since we have the mod, we're gonna be guaranteed to get the best drop from them, which is taunt plus 2. It just increases the amount of damage that your your taunting does with the flashlight, and it also increases the amount of damage you take.
It's heading for that rocky area.
Yeah, I guess if you want to
keep it
explain how taunt actually works.
Yeah, so you have a flashlight bind in this game. Typically, you bind it to 2 buttons. You can mash them really quick, and you'll see enemies like they make like a steam sound effect. Their face turns red, and then they will take some multiplier of damage depending on your taunt chip. So by default, it's double. I think it's 150. I don't remember off the top of my head, but taunt plus 2 is a lot more damage. The side effect, though, is they also deal that multiplier more to you, so it's kind of risky in later fights. But it's not that risky if you buff.
Yeah.
Defense
So
buff and don't get hit forehead.
Yep.
pretty much. Here, there's a bunch of triggers, but turns out most of them are actually optional. So we're just gonna go out of bounds and only get the mandatory ones, because being in bounds is slow.
Yeah. Platform list. There's a trigger under the platform. Well, it's on. You're supposed to be on that platform, but if you go just under it, you can get it. So in this lightning fast menu, if you saw anything, Blue equipped the taunt chips, equipped the correct weapon, and then buffed, so that he can try and go for early dawn.
Got him.
Nice. So that he blew through his DG right as dawn spawned, so that starts the timer for this fight to end earlier. What is going on? This game has a lot. Especially in an A-ending run, there's so many things to explain so quickly, because it's kind of complicated. But it's like, yeah. So, Blue, in that menu, Blue equipped his other sword to have the Virtuous Contract on his heavy attack. So now, he can do the damage glitch we explained earlier, which is just dash heavy, and you throw the sword out, and it does too much damage for some reason. He can now do that, and then swap weapon sets and throw his other sword out. So he can have 2 spinning at the same time. And then if that wasn't enough inputs for you... Oh, never mind. I'll explain after the boss.
Alright, we're good. Sorry.
Laser. Okay. Did you get the SD?
Yes.
Nice. Clean timing. That
Oh,
SD
ideally,
was... Good.
Ideally, you would be level 7 here. Where we didn't quite make it, so this fight is just a little bit harder.
Okay, Adam. Alright.
This fight has a lot of phases. We skip one of them. As you can see, Adam is not always the most friendly of boys. But Blue's making quick work of him here. It's one of the hardest fights in the game to optimize.
Yeah, but when done right, you just shred through Adam and you don't really have to play his games.
You need some bad RNG at the end, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't able to stagger him right away, but that happens.
Come on, through that hole.
So that was Adam 1. And now we're leaving. Blue's actually going to slow-mo here to avoid these platforms falling.
Yeah, when you slow-mo, when you're charging your pod program, we call it slow-mo. it slows down the movement of the enemies, and it slows down the environment's movement as well. So I was able to use it to go across those platforms before they fall.
What the hell just happened?
I know.
You can also use that to slow enemies in combat, so you're literally just playing the game faster than the enemies are even thinking of playing it. It does involve having like 7 fingers pressing buttons at the same time.
So this is a box. We're back out of bounds because, yeah.
Because walls.
And now we're gonna save and load. The game uses loadless timing for the leaderboards. So the more time we spend loading to cover distance, the better.
Yep. And there's a really long dialogue here too, so that's why we went out of bounds, to avoid the trigger for the dialogue, but to get in range of the transporter.
Yeah, the transporter that I grabbed earlier after shopping, the transporters, they have a really big range they can just save from without having to actually interact with them. So I kind of just saved from one from far away, then loaded to it, so I didn't have to run across the desert.
And now we're gonna very carefully, even though it doesn't look like it, select the correct dialogue or else we're in for a very bad time.
Yeah, if you pick the wrong dialogue there, you just reset your run. And
Technically you can reload, but it takes so
Yeah.
long.
you can, luckily, you can just mash and it'll pick the right like option for you. So if you just hit AB as hard as possible, you're gonna be fine.
That's pretty much what I do.
And the scary strat is that you can actually hold your movement stick
I heard
to
something
continue
about how
moving,
bad
but
that
if
the
you move it the
resistance thing.
slightest bit, it will change the dialogue option.
Target location
Yeah.
confirmed.
To the
I'm
wrong
worried
one.
about the other androids. We should probably check
So
the
it's
So nice.
optimal to be
Looks like our
risky.
surface route's been cut
Linus
off.
says we can't go
Maybe
over
we
this
can get through
barricade,
from
but that's just
underground.
because he doesn't have our mad hops. Because we can clearly get over this barricade. What we can't get over is the fact that there's a story trigger back here in this pipe, so we're gonna have to go back and grab it. This is still faster than going through the sewer, though.
We've saved about half a second. That's really poggers.
Yeah, that saves not very much time, but it looks really cool.
Fun to do.
Speaking of that,
Cut on a fence. But yeah, there's a lot of tricks in this game, especially out of bounds ones and going to grab triggers and stuff that don't save that much time, but there's just so many of them that they do add up.
Wow,
yeah.
this
So
is
that
weird.
movement was to skip a discovery cutscene. They just didn't make the trigger tall, so you can go over it. We're now gonna start Super Risky Coaster.
It'll be fine, don't worry.
Yeah.
At least it's not back coaster.
Oh God. So
We
we're
don't
out
live
of
in
bounds
2018
here.
anymore.
There's a lot of triggers that need to be grabbed here to progress story, and Blue's basically going to be hitting a bunch of them. The important part of this skip is he needs to hit a trigger on the front of the coaster, and not actually ride the coaster. Nice. Okay, he got it. It's pretty
Clean.
consistent. So then he's going to get a trigger above the stairs over here, which will get him out of bounds, and then he can come get a trigger on the rails, and then my feed jumped forward like 3 seconds, but he's going to get other triggers over here.
What's this?
Mmm.
Now that I've hit all the triggers, I'll get teleported to where the roller coaster wants me to be when it's finally done moving. So until then, my goal is to go grab a spear.
Humans
during this
sure are
downtime.
strange creatures.
Now, you may be wondering, hey, why do you want to get a spear when you already have 2 swords? That's a great question, because we're not going to use it for damage. We're going to use it for everything else.
Spear is a very, very, very good weapon for everything except combat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to call me Nines, it's totally okay.
And this whole event is timed based on how long the roller coaster would have taken to ride. So he's fighting the timer here, but he has enough. It does make mistakes here really bad.
Yeah, you kind of risk not getting the spear at all if you mess up.
Yeah,
And
which
that would be a
is
gigantic
really
loss.
bad. Because the spear for movement is extremely useful and necessary, pretty much. So quick, the map wasn't even ready for it. So here's
That
Beaver.
was one of my better plunges.
Yeah, that was pretty swaggy.
Beaver's pretty pog.
What
It's
the
one of
hell?
the best fights casually. But for us, we kill it so fast that it essentially turns into an auto-scroller.
Yeah.
There's little bits of RNG here and there, but Something you
Okay.
can quite easily manage.
You need to kill her right when she starts that first attack, because if you kill her too quickly, she'll throw out a random attack, and some of them take a really long time. But her one she'll do by default, if she's not already been thresholded, is pretty quick. So we just always go for that. Hacking, wow, what's this? Don't worry, we won't have to see it again, hopefully.
It's trying to hack us. If we take
Hopefully.
hacking damage, it'll affect our bodies
Hopefully.
as well.
I was counting footsteps. Good timing.
Wow, that is intense. Counting footsteps to pause better.
Being attacked with dead androids.
Works pretty well, not gonna lie.
2B. I'm detecting
Like after the
blood
cutscene, you
signals.
count 21 steps. There you go.
They've been
Damn.
turned into weapons.
They are learn.
No hacker. Oh man. I
Earlier,
was gonna
Dan
finish
dodged these so
Saying
crazy.
no hackerino, and I got hackerinoed.
I've almost analyzed the enemy's hack.
So yeah,
That's
the
the
next
attacks
RNG.
that those, the attacks that those dead androids throw out, it's random. You want to just hope you don't get hit by any of them.
you can
'Cause
jump
if you
over
do,
them.
you get a hacking sequence.
So
So
who's gonna
up
kill
here,
these for XP? Go ahead.
we're gonna get a little bit of XP, about 2 XP per android, and then we're gonna equip the spear into the slot that is open for movement. We're also gonna buff for a little bit of extra damage.
Yep, we're gonna kill Bouboir, finish the last phase. SD for something that'll come in handy later, hopefully. And then we're gonna go skip some dialogue.
Thanks.
We're going to pick up a chip. We're gonna talk to an
What have I
android
got?
body,
We have
and
to
then we're gonna
save
try
those
and clip out of
androids.
bounds using this door.
Oh.
We have to save those androids.
Oh, I didn't change my cursor to the small recovery, but it's fine.
You mediumed, yeah. You normally want a small here. You need to recover so you can start doing this, which is spear dashing. This looks like an extremely violent action, but it's actually pretty cozy.
Yeah, it looks horrible, it sounds horrible, it feels pretty good, and it is
Yeah.
fast.
So this is why we picked up the spear. You light attack, and then you continually do heavy attack and SD. And you do this.
One of the main differences with this form of movement, if you mess up the repeated inputs, you essentially just lose the combo. But you also don't really follow the terrain as well as you usually would. So if you're dashing and dash swinging, if you dash down the slope, you're probably gonna follow it. If you're spear dashing, you're just gonna go into the air, and then you can't continue the combo if you're in the air.
But no one knows
Blue
for
just
sure.
did some very clean movement, significantly harder than it looks.
Yeah, one part of spear dashing that it took me a while to realize is you can change how far you go forward by just starting the next spear dash earlier. So for sections like that, you need to time it so that you end your spear dash at the very edge of something so you can dash off or plunge.
So we just did a quick save here, because we're gonna do some super risky strats. Talk to Pascal, who I'm probably gonna say some very bad words to in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Alright, am I gonna get a boar or am I gonna get a moose?
Let's pray for
They're
the
all over
boar
there,
moose
there's
for
a bunch
evil.
of boars. I should have done a maze strat. This is the one time where I've been actually faster, and I didn't do it.
There's a clip out that Blue could have done to get over here, but it's like pointless. Nice, we're on a boar.
Hey, it's not
Hopefully.
pointless. It saves like a whole second if you're lucky.
And I was lucky, but I didn't do it.
When I asked her out,
Can't believe this.
she turned me
But
So
anyway,
boar hopping.
this is faster.
Yeah.
This is faster than running with the boar.
honestly too
Believe it or not.
marginally,
I don't know how I'm supposed to go on
but it
with
is faster.
I am definitely not the person to
I just
discuss
want to
Yeah,
say
Oh yeah,
that
for this time save.
it's not necessarily the hopping that's faster, but the fact that you can start hopping when usually you'd have to ramp up your speed. But if you stop hopping, you're gonna slow down.
So we didn't take the
Right there,
boar
Quan.
into the camp, and then we talked to a door. The talking to the door cancels dialogue. We don't need to hear all of 6-0's ramblings. Now we're gonna try something pretty difficult.
What do you think?
Got it.
He just started transmitting to
I
us
mean,
directly.
what the hell? I died, man. Can't believe this.
Can say
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no,
I
he
can't believe
died! I
died.
can't believe you died. You didn't get it, as he said, got it instantly.
Shh. I said nothing. Disregard that. So
Immediately
it's a
says
death
got
warp.
it. Yeah, it's a death warp. That's why we saved.
Takes us all the way back here.
But we still have the item that we went and picked up, so we progressed story. Like the quest still worked.
Fair.
What's that noise?
Tried doing the zoomer thing and enemies are in the way, but whatever.
This was a trap. I knew it.
And this is why you don't do the zoomer thing.
I promise.
Yeah.
We were not aware of this information. I realize the odds of you believing me are strikingly
So
low,
there's
but
a
I
bunch
hope
of
you
stuff
will
going on in the
nonetheless.
city.
We'll sort it out.
And
Let's go.
we're kind of not interested. We just want to get it over and done with. So we're going to zoom all the way to the other side of the map as quick as we can.
Which is pretty quick with spear dashing. But you want to try to not have like boars or meese get near you, because they will take your aggro, or like you'll start attacking towards them and it'll break your beeline.
Yeah, so in this game, when you look at an enemy, you might see your little white targeting reticle on them. And it could also work on animals and stuff, but when you see that reticle on something, 2B's just gonna pull her attacks towards that. And since we move using attacks, that's bad. So we want them to be off camera whenever possible.
Unless we pass through that Goliath's legs. We should be careful.
Alright, let's see. There has been 2 attempts so far of Engel's Hole today when I've been commentating, and both of them have failed. You're gonna break
I've
that?
been very bad at it
streak?
recently.
Uh-oh, that's what Dan said.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no. Maybe it is patched. Nice, got on the ladder. It's harder than it looks.
Good little 14 hops up the ladder.
I actually time it based off of what the mini map shows, but 14 hops is obviously better because you can do that.
Damn it.
I think I'm cursing Engel's Hole today.
Wow. Yeah, it is patched.
It is patched.
I've been bad at
Easy
it for the
backup.
past week, man.
Be careful.
Easy backup though.
If you use the right movement angle and jump timing, you can just jump through the wall and not have to go over the invisible wall like I just did. So this boss up here is the reason why we want 2 pods among some other bosses, but this one is the big one. Range attack buff. Pod number 1, switch pod number 2, and he's dead. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Just sit in the armpit, fire the things. Easy clap.
Alright, now we got a really big, time save, complicated nonsense trick coming up. I'll let you guys handle it.
This is the zoomer trick that Aloyark found. It's called Extended Dialogue Storage, or EDS, or Extendo Dongo Storage. Depends on what you want to call it. The gist of it is, we'll get to it in a sec. So first we need to go get Skype Glitch and get a mandatory trigger. So Blue's gonna go pretend like he's going the correct way, but actually just turn around and start going to the amusement park again, because that's where we need to be for Skype Glitch. Nice root movement. Or where we need to be for EDS. So that's getting
Man.
Skype Glitch.
But it seems
That
to be
was
I know I
almost
messed
getting
that
Skype
part up.
Glitch.
Oh, well.
way underground.
Guess we'll see once
So
we get
quick
there.
explanation.
Yeah, go
Skype
ahead.
glitch. Every time a
Not much for plans, are you,
what do you want to
2B?
call them?
Call.
Yeah, cool. Every time you get a call from a thingy, it goes ring, ring, ring. We're just gonna not have that anymore. We're gonna instantly pick it
Yeah.
up because we're showing our
All
age by
symptoms
calling
get
it
in the
Skype.
way.
glitch.
Yeah, I think that's really funny. It's called Skype Glitch, not like Zoom Glitch or something. So we're going over here to talk to this stamp trader guy. We're going to talk to him and kill him at the same time so that this dialogue remains on our screen. So a consequence of this is we can't hit A or B anymore. And we also can't hit start. So Blue's, I believe, going to use his keyboard.
Yes.
It's different by runner. Blue's going to use his keyboard to jump because we can't jump with most people's key bindings. And then stab out to go out of bounds over here. And now, since we're out of bounds and we're above where we need to go, we're going to just fall. Grab another mandatory trigger and proceed on to negotiations. But we're also going to watch a movie real quick.
Yeah, we want to keep this text box up, but if we skip this cutscene, we get rid of the text box.
Yep.
And this is a boss fight, and it's an auto-scroller boss fight based on dialogues. So when the dialogue is over, the boss fight is over. And if you remember how dialogue canceling works, then you know this text box is going to collide with their dialogue, cancel out, and then the boss fight's just instantly over.
Yeah. So even watching this cutscene and going out of our way, that's just how long they talk for here. They really talk.
And fight's over.
They're deluxe. So yeah, that saves a ton of time, and Aloe figured out all the strat for that. There used to be some ridiculous way to climb out and skip this using Speed Star, and it required this insane hard-to-do trick that Blue could actually do, but we don't even need to worry about that anymore, because this is like actually not a hard trick.
Yeah, this is significantly easier than what used to be done. That would save almost nothing. Like,
Yeah.
at best, the old thing that was significantly harder would save 10 seconds max.
And this is like 30 to 40 easily.
Yeah, it's insane, while being much easier.
As if that was bad enough, some Zoomers found out that you could do it by having close to frame perfect inputs to save just a couple more seconds.
I learned how
on the
to
way
do
up,
it, but I was never good enough to actually do it. You get what I mean?
yeah. On the way out, we grabbed a chest that's gonna give us some of the materials we need to upgrade the sword. We're just gonna skip some dialogue, skip some more dialogue. We're gonna go back to Pascal's.
Yep.
Another dialogue cancel there. Hi, 9S. Shut up, 9S. I want to take the middle transporter because I'm a radical centrist.
That's normally what I do. I take the middle one.
It's been a while.
I'll rest if I feel like it.
I always took the right one, but I'm feeling middle today.
Very middle type of day. So this is where on a regular A unmodded run, you'd be hitting your big RNG check, essentially. But because we have the mod, we know we'd pass the RNG check. There's a slight secondary RNG check of whether you got crit chips, because the mod doesn't give you crit chips. But it plays a significantly less important role.
Shopping.
You get top +2.
So now we're gonna sell a bunch of stuff, get some money. We're gonna sell some chips that we don't really care about, and we're gonna find out, hey, did we actually get a chip that we can use?
Is that WoW not a size 17 WoW?
Yeah, it's a 17, so I can't use it. It's too big.
Unfortunate.
And
So that's a
crit plus
weapon
0.
attack up. Hey, it's not too bad.
It's something.
We should really get it to give you the diamond crit +2s.
At least one.
Yeah.
Gonna do mom skip because, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's a side quest thing that happens there that forces you to stop and watch a mini cutscene, and the trigger volume is obnoxiously big, so I had to do some long jump shenanigans just to get over it.
Man, this job can be pretty rough
Nice.
sometimes.
Now
Just
that my
clean and
sword's
rock and-
upgraded,
We don't get to choose our assignments.
I move even faster, because spear dashing is affected by your sword, because one of the inputs involved in doing spear dashing is heavy attack, and my sword's on my heavy slot, so spear dashing is affected by my sword, and with the upgraded sword, it means faster attack speed. Faster attack speed means I'm moving faster. So that's one reason why you want to get it on top of the damage that's being ridiculous. Melted.
Right, 4 robots. Yeah,
Absolutely
absolute melting here.
Check this guy.
So,
He's just running
Tom
away.
+2 again. You do more damage to them, and they do more damage to you. But clearly, we're taking more advantage of the damage than they are.
Forest, one of my least favorite sections in the game,
Forest is just ahead.
because
Forest.
it's bumpy. It doesn't cooperate with your spear dash movement, dude.
It
Gotta
is
agree.
bumpy. And there's also a bunch of random meese in the way. But goal is just to get to the castle right here. There was a skip we used to do here that was called Mario Kart,
Here they come.
and
Better keep your
the
guard up.
replacement for that's called Rainbow Road.
You just
So
be careful.
Blue's gonna do Rainbow Road in just a sec. Right now he's on his way over the bumpy terrain, trying not to look at all the enemies.
Yeah, we pretty much picked the worst line as far as the amount of things that can screw you over. But it's fast.
How are we supposed to reach that
The
castle?
old
That's
trick
spear
being called
dashing?
Mario Kart is because you would do a drown warp, similar to
Yeah.
how you do in Mario Kart races, but we skipped doing the drown warp now, and then we just name it after after a Mario Kart track instead.
Yeah, which is funny. There's a lot of new players who probably would have never tried doing Mario Kart. This trick's kind of interesting. It's the only one you have to hold A going into.
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, never mind. I take that back. He does whatever the hell that was so that he doesn't have to hold A going into it.
You just do more spear lights.
More
I
spear
labbed
lights.
that out specifically because I was having issues holding A beforehand and accidentally releasing it.
That's
I'm just
funny.
like, no, I'm done with this. I'm labbing something that's easy and consistent. I
Is
don't
that
care if it's
faster or
slower.
not? Oh, it's
It might
slightly
be slower, but I don't know. I just want consistency, goddammit.
Yeah. And then we're out of bounds again. This is a really long section casually, but we're just going to skip it. So basically inside these walls is a huge 2D section. But we're going to just use this convenient collision to not play this part.
I don't think that dude died. I don't think it's going to matter that much, but we'll find out in a moment.
I don't think that guy died either, unless 9S killed him.
We'll find out when we get back over there. So here's A2. I hate this boss very much. Not because she's difficult or anything, but she has a lot of RNG where she'll just waste her time.
2B.
Yeah.
That's
Cool
Very
character.
nice blood
just
launch.
Terrible
you're
fight.
the type bandit.
I was going to say, that was a really good paw launch. You didn't even mention it. But that skips a really slow walking animation that will lose you like 30 seconds,
But why?
Let's
unironically.
go, 9S.
2B?
Oh, she did the RNG thing. Well, it wasn't that bad actually. That was still pretty good.
This fight is like why resilience is great. It's good in other fights, but this one's like a big one because you just don't get staggered. I don't know if we explained that or not. But there's a stagger mechanic when you get hit. You get staggered, it stops you from attacking, but resilience prevents that.
So we need to go back to Pascal's. The game doesn't let you go this way, but we can just go
he
over
got
the
him.
triggers.
I can't believe
Just
9S
push
actually
9S
killed
off
it.
the screen.
Did he? Get out of here, 9S. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so resilience is a very powerful chip. As long as your HP is above a certain threshold, when you get hit, you don't get staggered or anything, so it just lets you face tank a lot of stuff. It's very good for combat.
It'll be faster.
Let's stay.
Alright, now for some more out of bounds trigger hitting shenanigans into a very, very long auto scroller.
Yeah, before we did that, we just made sure to shoot the kids.
It's a Draken
It's
card
for
related
dialogue
game.
cancel reasons, not because we're abusive. Or it could be both, depending on how you are as a person, but specifically for dialogue cancel reasons.
9S.
Yeah, that's why we
Why
need
did
that.
you ask Pascal about A2?
Huh?
It's not recommended to interface with machines
Or dialogue
without
cancels.
consult-
Yep, there's a dialogue thing at the
Thanks,
jukebox that
Still,
cancels
machines
it.
are the enemy. Don't forget it.
So we're out of bounds again. Any second now. There we go. There's a trigger we want to get, but we don't actually want to go over to it. So we're just going to kind of plunge out of bounds and get it from below. And then void out, which will send us all the way back up. And then we can go where we actually want to go, which is the next fight.
Pretty much saved a whole lot of
Let's take
movement
'em out
time.
already so I can
Yeah.
be home in time for dinner and a bath.
Yeah, it's really easy to get out of
Androids don't
bounds.
need to bathe.
We're never
As long as you perform
stopped
regular cleaning and maintenance,
because we can't get out of
things
bounds.
like
We're only stopped because there's not a point in going out of
2B,
bounds.
It still feels good.
Work all the enemies.
Alright,
Sure
not
Fight's
bad.
also the first one where you get enemies that have those shields. You gotta break those before they do any real damage.
I think that's the last
Or
of
before
the
you can do any real damage. Another dialogue cancel. Nice.
Being put in the air by a millimeter over something you can't even see. This game is silly.
Classic. That was the longest walk to a flyer ever.
Are these out of bounds patched or are they on all versions? They're on all versions for this specific category. I think they patched a major glitch for E-ending, but for A-ending you can do all these out of bounds on pretty much every version of the game.
Yeah, even the thing that got patched, that wasn't an out of bounds. They didn't patch any of the out of boundses. They patched early tower.
Yeah, this is a very long auto-scroller with boss, mini-boss. If you want to go get yourself a snack, drink, sandwich, that was a good time.
If you want to do all of the above, that's also pretty good.
I did that way too early. Whoops. Disregard that. So for that wave in particular, you only wanted to get rid of the bottom 2 sets of dudes. The other ones didn't really matter that much. Pretty much just wait for them to get on the screen. Now this part's like actual auto-scroller. Like even if you let these enemies live, it doesn't matter. All I can do is just wait. That's another reason why I don't like these shmup sections. They're mostly auto-scrollers.
To make it worse, actually, since 9S was put on long range earlier, specifically for this section, we actually need him to help with a couple of the fights. The rest of it, we don't really want him to take the kills, because if he takes the kill, he gets the experience and we get absolutely nothing. So Blue's gonna spend the entire auto-scroller fighting 9S for every single kill.
Really want to make sure I can hog that EXP and that he doesn't. And he can take boss kills too. I can't believe this game has KSing, man. Alright, I almost never practice the light attack strat, so I'm just gonna do 1 extra heavy because I'm kind of a wuss.
Looks to be 2.8 clicks southwest of us.
These are pod programs, and then while they're on cooldown, it's going to be using heavy attacks. And then I'm going to do 1 extra one than I would normally do, because I'm trying to guarantee that 9S doesn't take this boss kill. And there's still a chance that he might, but I'm going to hope he doesn't.
Yeah, it sets you back so much to lose this XP.
Oh, I'm not sure. Okay, I think I heard the sound. I think I got it. Like both me and 9S were shooting him.
Yeah, you were
at the
both
same
shooting
time.
at that.
It came down to chance, dude. I need to practice the light attack strat so I do more damage myself.
Yeah, the light attack strats are really safe here. They were discovered more recently. It's just like you look up and to the side and you can hit the flyer with light attacks.
Is that a machine?
So thankfully I'm level 13 here instead of being level 12. So when he takes that kill, you lose like an entire level. So you're pretty much under-leveled for the rest of the full run. Possibly except for the very end where you might catch back up to 19, but all the way up until then you would be down a whole level and that sucks. All because 9S is a awful person. He's taking my kills, man.
Find another way to damage it.
2B, Command is attempting to launch a satellite laser strike on your
So this is Grun.
but the enemy's electromagnetic camouflage is making it impossible.
If you thought the auto-scroller part was bad, well, guess what? It's now got RNG in it, too.
Is that all?
Yeah, we're going to be destroying 3 generators, and before you can blow up the main part of the generator, the big sphere, you got 4 smaller ones, and they rotate around, and you can only hit 2 at a time. And you could get bad RNG with the rotation, and it could take 1 extra rotation. It could take 5 extra rotations if you're unlucky. Who knows how many extras it could be.
Dan
Ideally,
got
you want no
4
extras,
earlier.
but I saw what happened to Dan Flush. I was lurking. That was
That was
unfortunate.
hilarious.
He got how many extra rotations? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, it was 4. Because he had gotten no extra rotations, and Aloe was like, yeah, at one point I lost 40 seconds to this. And then he got 4 rotations.
Brutal.
Enemy data obtained from command.
Go ahead.
The only known record of this machine lifeform is a lone sighting 320 years ago. Upon reaching land, the unit unleashed a
Know anything about Carl
electromagnetic
Ferdinand
wave
Grun?
attack. All resistance fighters in the vicinity were annihilated.
He's
Green facts?
yeah, he was a
Can you look
dude.
up on Wikipedia?
I believe he was German, because grün means green. He did some philosophy stuff.
It's an educational stream.
Yep. I think he like talked with Marx or something. I don't remember. The only reason I know this is because of Grunt Facts and trying to have something to do during this.
I forgot
at
range
events.
attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Well, that's that extra rotation. That's unfortunate, but whatever. Never mind, that's 2 rotations.
Oh no.
Excuse me, I'm not Dan Flesh. Stop.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's an
Classic.
example of getting bad luck and getting extra rotations.
Yeah, there's not really anything you can do there.
Electromagnetic interference eliminated.
And we got 2 more generators to deal with.
And they can both do that.
Oh, come on! It's got an electromagnetic
We're all like barely
barrier
off
over
the
its
screen.
whole
Come
body.
here.
Yeah, one of the harder parts about this is, well, at least as a newer player, is learning what things are skippable here and what aren't. Because they all look the same, but some of them are skippable, like just pause it and hit skip. None of
There
this
are
is.
some of
though.
them skippable in B, but not A.
Yeah, there's one that's skippable in B, but not A. I think it's like 9S flying off.
Yeah,
Yep,
this one, right?
You and I should meet up at the spot I just
No, it's a little later. It's after the
Yeah,
PQ.
Right.
they're like reported. It's like, yeah.
I'd report 9S. I hate 9S.
Lining the shoreline here. All the EMPs
Yeah, I
Stealing
would
my
do.
in the
kills.
world won't help against close-range mortar fire.
Got it.
So now it's time to use this big gun to shoot Grun in the mouth.
Good.
Since we have a lot of time, I want to bring up a little bug. There is a bug where 9S just ceases to exist. You think that's the best thing ever? You know, aside from him helping you on the fights? It's not the best thing ever, because he just takes every kill before they even come on the screen.
Yeah, the 9S glitch, it's very strange. When he disappears off the screen during a shmup, well, it turns out he's literally everywhere at all times. So, if that happens, like, you won't see him on the screen anymore, but every enemy that flies onto the screen will just start dying for no reason. In this context, where we don't want him to steal our kills, that's like the worst thing imaginable.
In the context of you want to AFK to go pee, though, it'd be pretty good.
It is a good time to go AFK and get yourself a snack.
The Berserk and begin attacking everything in sight. No one could figure out how to stop it. They eventually marooned it deep in the ocean, but it seems to be searching for a way back. Huh.
K2B, I think I have another idea. You keep that thing right where it is, okay?
Room.
What?
Please, 2B, this is gonna work.
Alright, now 9S is gone for
Yeah,
a very
nice.
long time, which is great.
Proposal: 9S should be reported to command as a deserter.
So yeah,
No
that
kill
was a
stealing,
skippable one
The plan.
in B
Hold on.
for whatever reason. But yeah, no more kill stealing. And he gets reported to the police, FBI, NSA.
2B, I'm going to see if we can use those missiles back on the shore. But I need you to destroy the EMP unit on that thing's back. Otherwise, they're just going to go off course.
On.
On the bright side, though, as soon as this is done, we get back into like the gameplay right away. This is pretty much the only downtime of the run, to an
Pretty
extent.
much.
I mean, this is only significant downtime. This is like 11 minutes.
Alright, second generator. Be nice to me, please.
So you're seeing what one thing Blue's trying to do is he's flying away after he hits a certain number of attacks because he knows that if he keeps his pod fire on it, the pod fire will kill it.
Yeah, just trying to get to the next one ASAP.
Yeah.
Him hitting you doesn't spin you around that fast, by the way. I just like doing that. Level 15.
Wowee.
Back before ADS was found, we would have hit level 15 a long time ago. Because EDS, the trick where we skip that long boss dialogue in the fight instantly, it means we don't do that fight, so we're down a whole level from the old route. But time it saves makes it worth it. Which makes it extra brutal when 9S does take that boss kill from you, though.
It is a lot more significant than you'd think as well. Because all of these fights work very nicely when you have that level. When you don't have that level and you don't get any of the, the 17 space chip that Blue got completely screwed out of, it becomes very tight as to if you can kill all the little orbs before the cycle ends.
I believe this is the last one, right?
Yeah. You heard that right. We get to play the game again.
Wow.
So the last two generators were good, just not the first one.
Dang.
I got like how many extra cycles? Like 3?
Yeah, you got 3.
Ah. Oh well, we're done with the autoscroller. We're back to playing the game. We're back to zooming.
And we immediately enter shenanigans by doing a drown warp because we want to just get away from where we are, and this puts us pretty far away.
We can call this one Mario Kart.
We could call this one Mario Kart. All right, let's just start
Return to
calling this Mario Kart. All right, so this is Mario Kart.
The drown warp took us further ahead. It's like Mario Kart.
Yeah. What do they call it? Like when they do a sequence break in Mario Kart, like they skip part of the track. They have a name for them. I don't remember what it is though.
I'm not sure.
Anyways, we want to go to the copied city. Shortcut. It's not as exciting as I thought it was. We used to do another Mario Kart over here where we jump in the water, but it's not really that much faster at all, especially if you have VC3, and then it's not actually faster. So the skip coming up to get down there, the copied city clip, is kind of picky. I don't know if Blue uses keyboard and mouse to line it up, but some people use keyboard and mouse. Yeah, keyboard and mouse lets you walk in a perfectly straight line, which is really useful for doing lineups.
Very impressive movement by Blue as well. The train is very jank in that tunnel.
Yeah, that train's awful. Ooh, and then you stab the button to skip the button pressing animation.
Saving frames. Oh, I messed up cool movement. I got caught in the elevator door.
Oh, wow, you did. Damn.
Oh.
I've never seen that before.
What is this?
Analysis. This area is composed of crystallized silicon.
So
if you thought earlier was bad, this is even worse. There's little blocks literally everywhere to trip Blue up.
And it's kind of random which blocks are going to matter to you, but yeah. So this is mansplaining skip. Adam likes to talk a lot. So you line up here and get out of bounds. Most people use keyboard mouse to line this up because it's another picky one. You then run away and go to the elevator because there's a dialogue that'll play when you go in the elevator. And we use that to do the dialogue cancel. I believe Blue is going to do the pod pat strat here.
Yep, where I do a double dialogue cancel where I literally use 2B's butt to touch the elevator trigger. I'm not joking.
Yeah, by petting the pod. So if you wiggle the mouse or like do something with a touchpad on a DS4, you pet the pod and that'll just barely bop 2B into the dialogue. And the pod
I
also
didn't use those buffs too early. Should be fine.
Nah, you should be good.
Nice. That's a lot of dialogue cancel in there.
I have severed my connection to the network.
This is another boss fight when you just want to do a threshold, health threshold trigger for more dialogue stuff. Now we just gotta wait for him to stop talking, and then we can kill him for real.
Yeah, if you kill him here and take him down too low, he'll just start teleporting, and you need to hit him to trigger the next phase. So him teleporting makes him significantly harder to hit.
Speaking of teleporting, I hope he doesn't give me one here.
Other than that, it's just a DPS check for the last phase. Slow-mo DDG, nice. And just completely melt him. With the slow-mo, he's got no chance for attacks. And then instantly, there's going to be a really important dialogue cancel here that saves like 40 seconds. Nice, that was it. And then that was another one to save in a smaller amount of time. Because we need to go read a letter, and if anyone's talking, we can't read that letter. And by talking to the person back there who was on the whatever that was, that skipped a huge block of dialogue.
Run has a lot of dialogue cancels because we have to wait for people to talk. And speaking of waiting for people to talk, it's pretty much a race to the next destination before this dialogue finishes.
Yeah, if you're fast enough, you can like have a couple mistakes and not lose time, but otherwise you won't beat the dialogue. Blue should be able to beat the dialogue though. I'm not trying to curse him.
Nice bit of RNG here. The dude's standing right in the middle, so you can't get past him.
They're seeking to form an alliance of some kind with our village.
If that's what they want, why don't they
I don't know if doing that was faster than a pod spin, but whatever. Should still be fine.
You don't say.
Indeed.
I think it is.
Apparently it's located in the
I believe you can get away with just one stab, and that's faster.
Alright, that extra enemy there may have...
Maybe we can meet up over there.
Oh, we're good.
Sounds good.
Whatever, we made it. I didn't do the extra zoomer movement, but we made it at least, so that's fine.
No roll. Close enough. Still beat Pascal, who just appears there. There's an animation here that plays that you can get to play that we used to think was faster, but it doesn't actually make it faster. You just walk.
I like doing it, but I won't do it this time.
Trying to be polite for stream.
Until I get to my favorite ladder.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh no.
Take that back.
Fine, I'll avoid the ladder.
No, do the ladder if you want to do the ladder.
Okay, I'll do the
don't
ladder.
do the ladder.
While we have some time, I want to ask, what are we calling the upcoming skip? Are we calling it its real name? Okay.
I like calling it, like the PG name, I would call it like 9S Room Skip.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, you can keep calling it your, I don't know what you guys want to call it here.
You know, just asking since it's not really our space to say that as you do this.
So, anyways,
this is a feature built into the game, okay? They let you do this.
So, anyways, we have to wait for this guy to walk. There's no way for us to skip this. We have to wait for him to walk and press the button. Because
That's why I was using my ladder.
Yeah.
If only we could speed that up, but
yeah.
He just doesn't budge any faster, or you like possibly kill him on accident.
We actually skipped dialogue in the elevator ride by talking to Pascal.
I was looking straight up going down this hallway because there's enemies, or they're friendly, but the reticle will still pull you towards them. So I just want them to be off screen.
Yeah, and if you kill one, you get an ending. So
Yeah,
that's
don't kill them.
instant run killer.
Right, complicated
hard to do
factory stuff coming up. This place is very complex and difficult.
Take it away, Rod.
So this is the first part. So we could kill all of these guys, or we could go out of bounds and void out, which will just make the game think we killed them all. And that's good enough for us, and it's way quicker than killing them. So we're going to do that. It's required. Speaking of required, it's required to talk to 9S, but we're going to do that after.
Right, we're not doing the inappropriate trick because I...
Alright, we're not doing the inappropriately named trick, which is not named inappropriately on, like, because it needs to be. It's just because... Anyway, we need to talk to 9S.
Funny.
Yeah. We need to talk to 9S.
Naming.
He's on a lower floor. And we really want to be on a higher floor. So after we talk to 9S, we're going to reset the elevator by going out of bounds and voiding out again, which just resets the elevator and also respawns 9S, which sucks because he kind of died there and that was cool looking. So the reason we want to be really high up is because, as we've said, we need triggers. So talking to 9S was a trigger. There's another trigger that's by a random door somewhere in the factory. And then there's the end of factory that we want to go to. So we're going to go get that trigger that we need by the door by falling here and voiding out right as we get the trigger, so we get taken back up here. And we know we get it because we hear a voice line. Nice. And then now that we have that, we're good to go. We can take our way over to the end of factory. That was almost all of factory done. Nice.
Casually, that's about 5 minutes of content we just completely skipped.
Yeah, 5 minutes if you're like really rushing through it casually. Blue's also going to try and ride this elevator by going out of bounds here. It saves a bit of time because you can walk and don't have to wait for the elevator to open its doors. Oh, and by the way, once you're on the elevator, you move like anyway, so it doesn't matter that you're not actually standing on the elevator, as you can see.
Yeah, you move with the elevator. It doesn't matter what you're doing in the air. It'll bring you with it.
And then this isn't really necessary. It's just very consistent. If you just chill up here, you don't have to deal with Soshi attacking you.
The boss can only just sit there and stare at me while I just hang out up here until it's ready to fight.
Yeah, it has a shield.
Got this shield around him.
So you just kind of wait. Normally you'd have to be like dodging attacks and stuff, but we don't participate in that. I don't know how Blue does it, but there's various ways to time it. We have to wait for this dialogue to finish, but there's ways to time when you need to void, or when you need to like finally void out from where you're in Finna falling and be put back on the ground. And essentially we're gonna buff, go on the ground, taunt Soshi, and then slow-mo DDG, and hope that that works correctly and we only get like half a phase, not even an attack. It's really fast. Like,
Blue does have crit chips, so there is a chance that we can go super speedy here.
Yeah, we really don't participate in this fight as much as possible.
Wow, no crits at all. But we still got it, so it's fine. But all good.
Yeah, zero fight. So she just basically stood there staring and then died.
There's a VC3, taunt +2, just melts.
No chance, yeah. So
Plus
there's
buffs.
actually a new feature to 1.02 here where it's going to say loading map. What that does is break your mini map for some reason, which is unfortunate because we are immediately right here. We use the mini map for a lineup, so Blue paused and unpaused real fast to fix the mini map.
Yeah, somehow in this new patch, just that load just breaks the mini map, which I use for a lineup. So it's just like, you know what? Apparently pausing and unpausing fixes that, but how did they manage to break the mini map in an update? Whatever, dude.
Yeah. So anyways, this is basically a repeat of what we did at the beginning of the game. It's very poetic and stuff, you know. Something, something. It's named Shabu Skip.
Too bad he ain't here right now, but he will be here for my run at GDQ.
Yep,
or
and he's
our
gonna have
run,
to
since
explain
May
it.
is here.
This is our run.
This is
now.
our run, comrade.
So boss rush time.
Yeah,
Pretty
after
much.
I get back to the camp, it's gonna be just combat.
I'm heading
Yep.
back to the resistance camp. What about you?
Machine's going haywire. Gotta head back to the resistance camp.
Hardest trick in the game. Sure, that works. Blue just hogging out right there.
Yeah, that wall's hard to get over. It's also surprisingly hard to slow-mo while spear dashing, I've found. Maybe I just need to practice more at it, but Blue's making it look really easy right here, and I just want to say it's not as easy as it looks.
It's definitely tough.
Yeah.
I still can't do it.
Yeah. You think it's just like, oh, I just got to slow-mo while doing something. I've done that before for slow-mo DDG. No, it feels entirely different. I don't know why.
You're using like 5 fingers at once to do it.
Yeah, it's really weird because the timing's so different.
That was pretty smooth mostly, except for that one enemy that was on the very far edge of the bridge that I didn't know was there. But that was good otherwise.
So This is burning resistance camp. You just have to kill a bunch of guys on the ground and then kill a big dude and then leave. And the resistance camp's burning. But you don't need to kill any of the enemies that are in like the center of it. You only have to kill the ones off to the side. And hopefully quickly. They can kind of troll you by dying and being on the floor and being in the way. So you want them to just explode and go away so that they're not blocking you. Which so far they're doing
Spawning
kind of
behind me. Go away.
Yeah, that is one thing that can happen if you're too far forward or something. I'm not sure what causes it.
Yeah. So you can skip a couple of them spawning in if you're super fast. But there's like a set spawn point and you tend to go past it. So if you're unlucky, you're very unlucky.
That was an instant pause, wow.
Now we have a very spooky fight because the amount of damage it does is,
Yeah.
again, very spooky.
So the ground is electric and does damage to you, but it doesn't do it constantly. So you essentially just throw as much damage as you can and hope that you get exactly what Blue just got, which is knockdown skip. Where the knockdown animation doesn't play for Sushi. Nice. And then the vacuum animation playing on you and knocking 2B up around and moving her is we'll let you skip that cutscene. So anyways, core 1 is dead.
I want to fling my
And-
pod at the enemies, but he just kind of didn't go very far.
You can actually get a fish here. Like, you can get one on the line. I've done it before.
They're still coming?
The first I'm hearing of this, Rod.
What do you mean?
I have never seen somebody catch a fish there.
I didn't catch the fish. I got it on the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
don't know if you can catch it or not. But that's what I try to optimize there, is my quickness to get over to fish.
So Blue's making very easy work of all the enemies there by slow-mowing. That is something that almost nobody does because it's absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
It is tough. Why are they not taunting? Okay, there you go.
Yep, more enemies here. And then we're going to fight Core 2, the giant worm. The goal on here is you just kind of wait, and then Core 2 comes around, and then you start slow-mowing
Hello?
and
Die,
taunt
please?
DDG.
Okay. I must
And
have
then-
let go too early.
Uh-oh. Well, if you kill Core 2 quick enough, it doesn't it doesn't do these shenanigans. There we go. That's what it looks like when Core 2 doesn't die fast enough. It normally
I
just
think I just
explodes.
stopped throwing DGs too early.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Blue-
though.
Got the dialogue skip still.
Looks like he's bombarding the area with forced connections. I think
And we're on to the final boss.
Making the machines go haywire. We have to find
This is
Eve
Eve.
and destroy him.
He's very mad.
Very, very mad.
I just want to throw out there, we passed the 1 in 500 chance for the game to soft-lock. For no reason at all.
Oh yeah, when your graphics driver just stops working and you get stuck in an infinite load. I love that.
What is it?
If
Yeah,
that
very
happened, I had no
cool.
backup.
So this is a phase skip where he's going to keep healing, but it's dialogue based for how long he'll heal. And if he's not able to heal all the way, it just skips the phase. So we're slow-mowing to slow his healing down, and then we're doing damage to him. And yep, we got it. Nice. It's really easy to get with Taunt plus 2 in VC3. It's harder if you're just like vanilla VC2.
Very spooky fight here. If we take damage and our buffs aren't on, Blue is probably gonna die.
Yeah, it's a one-shot with no buffs.
We got him. Don't worry.
Nice. There's a benefit
Very
of Taunt
fast.
plus 2 that you can just double laser and SD and you're already in the next part of Eve. There's a really hard strat for fighting him without Taunt. And it's not really hard, it's just significantly harder than that.
Stop. Stop, please. Alright. Alright, so here's the final cutscene. right when the cutscene begins, that's when you hit time. So coming up in
Pog.
about 20 seconds.
GG.
GG.
GG. I have no idea what
Gonna be
time
a
I got, but it's pretty solid for marathon.
122.45 RTA.
I can always reload my
So
backup
yeah,
data from the bunker.
that was like probably like what, a 121 maybe?
The you that exists at this very moment.
No, much lower than that.
Yeah.
So Blue's load times are usually 2 minutes 8.
And time.
So,
GG.
9S.
So I need to like look at my splits and compare the load time to loadless, because I feel like I think that was still a 120 at least.
Yeah, that was actually almost
really
perfect
quick.
on par with your PB.
Dang. Well, I hope I can play that well during the race, because we don't know what's gonna happen.
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. That was NieR Automata, and we're gonna be racing this game with Ame on AGDQ 2022 coming up in 9 more days. So that's
On
gonna
the
be pretty
11th.
fun. Yep, it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
gonna
on
be
my
so hype.
birthday too, which is also extra.
Oh
hype.
really? Hell yeah.
Yes. Gonna be racing on my birthday. Yeah, boy, let's go. But anyway, thank you for having me. That was NieR Automata. Fun game, fun speedrun. Thanks for commenting with me, May and Rod.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for waking me up.
Anyway, I see you guys later. Thanks for having me.